Okay, we're on to step number 2, upholstery time. It's my favorite time. So the paint is totally dry. I went ahead and removed most of the screws from the back of this chair. I just went ahead and used a Phillips head. Now I will warn you, this chair was incredibly easy to take the screws off of. Some of these old chairs though are not in that good a condition. I think I lucked out with this little $5 beauty. So if you have some WD-40 around the house, you don't mind using a little bit of muscle, sometimes it's harder to take that off. I'm gonna show you the fabric that I'm gonna be using. Isn't this pretty, guys? I love this. So years and years ago, I was at the antique flea market, one of my favorites, Renninger's, out here in Mount Dora, and I saw this single panel curtain. And it was, I think, $3. Somebody was just, you know, they said, oh, we don't have a set, we only have one. And I bought it, and I kept thinking this would be so pretty to reupholster something, and I never got around to the project, so I've used it for backgrounds and for tablecloths, and I'm actually now going to use it for this chair. So it's time that we make something new out of this old thing, because it still has some life in it. So you can just see, whoa, there's a bug on it, yikes. Ugh, okay. This is why you guys know this is real, y'all. It's Florida. This is a love bug that succumbed to an untimely death. So somebody has reupholstered this baby many times. They have been using furniture nails. So back in the 1940s, 1950s and earlier, before furniture staplers were really the norm, people would use these little some people call them wood nails or furniture nails, or some people call them furniture tacks, and they would upholster using those. So because, let me see, do I have all my screws? 1, 2, 3, I am missing one. We'll find it, no worries. We're going to now cut this, fit it, and then put it back on, and then we're gonna do the bottom. Okay, now that we have seated ourselves, we are gonna start the cutting process. So one of the reasons I chose this fabric is this is a bark cloth style fabric. The reason that it's called bark cloth is it has this nubbiness to it. You can feel the ridges. This one actually has a canvas backing already on it. And I chose that because it's gonna hold up to some wear and tear. I don't plan on using this chair every day. It's not gonna be a vanity chair or anything like that. But I do like the items in my house to be able to be solid and to be utilized. I don't like to use things that I think are gonna fall apart or not go long term. So that's one of the reasons I chose this. I would like the flower to be central to the backing. So I'm keeping that in mind when I'm cutting it. I'm also keeping in mind that I wanna use this for other projects and I don't want to waste a ton of it. You know, sometimes I have bought fabric that people have used for other projects and they chose the center flower, and then it's the whole thing is just this piece of fabric with one flower cut out, and I'm just oh, okay, great for your project, but it's not very green or kind to the rest of the fabric. You know, I like to think of every item as deserving a chance to be upcycled and reused. So I try to think about that when I'm using the piece. I always feel a little bit bad when I'm cutting into something, but we're gonna make this really beautiful. We're gonna honor this fabric, and that's why I don't feel as bad. Now it depends how you want it to be. Some people prefer a more horizontal. Some people don't want it directly straight, but I think that I'd rather have it be centered, just sort of traditional like that. I like the symmetry of having it centered straight on. This paint is so beachy that I kind of wanted to tone it down a little bit for my house by choosing more of a cottage print. It really depends on your personal style, but I didn't want to go super tropical. I wanted to keep it more cottage. So I think at my heart, even though I like different styles or different things, I'm really cottage at heart. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this guy? Do I want to do it across? Do I want to kind of have to fiddle with it a little bit? See how you want it. And make sure that you leave a good like 3 to 4 inches on each side. You can see it looks like I'm being wasteful, but the reason that I'm leaving so much on each side is because you have to have something to grip in order for it to fit into the backing and for those staples to adhere to. So you don't want to be too frugal in how much fabric you leave yourself, or you'll be sorry. All right, we'll take a look at that before we settle it and see if that works for us. Do we like that? I think it looks good. Okay, so I'm going to have a ghostly hand me the furniture stapler. Thanks, hubby. And we're going to staple this in place, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the excess. So again, I'm going to make sure it's exactly like I want. I told my hubby I wasn't sure if I was going to keep this for myself or if I was going to sell it. I think one of the fun things about redoing something like this is knowing that like you put it together yourself. I think that's always fun. You did it. It's all yours. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this. I'm going to get the first. I like to have a nice clean fold to start out. I wish I had left myself just a little bit more room. That's what I mean by just making sure that you leave a lot of space. Okay. Okay. So we got that first one in. Do the second one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up. Okay, so I got my first 2 folds in, and that's just showing you kind of to keep it centered so I can finish the rest of it. I'm gonna speed it up, and then after I have it fitted back, I'm gonna go on to the next one, and then I'll show you guys the finished product, so keep with us. And just like that, that's our finished product. Didn't she turn out so pretty? I love, 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 love it. This chair was a beast to tackle. Her screws were all nearly stripped. They were old screws, at least 60 years old. We had to reinforce them. But I love that we paired this very 1940s chair with some fabric from her heyday. We have the old antique bark cloth fabric with this really fun, tropical, very cottage chic, very Florida turquoise Dixie Belle paint. I'm just loving the finished product so much. This actually shows y'all just a little tidbit of advice. When you go into an antique store, if you've never redone a chair before, I get a lot of comments when I sell at shows. Why is this chair $50? Why is this chair $75? Why is this chair $100? It's all about the time and effort that you put into the piece, and that's how you should price it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this old gal or if I'm actually going to sell her. I'll let y'all know. If I was going to sell this guy, I would actually price them probably at a price point between $75 and $100. The reason that I would price it that high is there's a lot of work that went into this little girl. If you find a chair like this for $50, that's a steal. And I know that seems high, but the bark cloth alone, if you would buy this on Etsy or on eBay, just a couple yards of that fabric would cost me $50 to find it again, if I could find it. So I really, really love how it turned out. It was fun telling you guys all about how to put together and make over an old chair like this. Remember that if you're going to be selling a piece like this, reinforced with new screws. Use wood glue when in doubt, and make sure that it's strong and lasting so that whoever buys it doesn't get it home and it falls apart. I've been there, I've bought from shops before, and there's nothing worse than getting a beautiful piece home, and then you have to, do stuff and make it work after you've already paid for it. So those are my tips of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this DIY. There's lots more to come. Don't forget to like our video, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and tell me in the comments, do you like her? Do you not? Do you like this paint choice? I know it was a bit of a risk. It's bright and it's bold and it's very Florida, but you guys tell me, what do you want me to do next? Would you like me to redo an old buffet, or do you want me to redo a table and chairs? Let me know. And of course, if you're in the Central Florida area and you have a vintage event, we'd love to come see you. Thanks, y'all, and I'll see you at the Pickin place. Bye now.